Happy Hunger Games!
About a year ago, a movie called The Hunger Games was released. The movie is about a society that forces children to fight for their survival. And knowing this movie was popular with her students, Keith Valley Middle School language arts teacher Laura Davis adapted the Hunger Games storyline and created a lesson for her students.
I had been thinking about different ideas, and I knew that they had all been exposed to the Hunger Games in 7th grade, that they went as a class to see the Hunger Games. So I knew that they had that base of knowledge, and I decided that what could be more fun than to assume the identity of a tribute and to be part of the Hunger Games.
In the movie, a tribute was a young person selected to fight in the Hunger Games, and the winner was the last tribute standing. Once students were assigned a tribute, they had to write about their character as they fought for their survival.
And the whole idea was that each student had to comment on other blogs, and I have 2 classes doing this, so they have an assignment of 2 blogs from another class and 1 in their class.
I'm so proud of how far you've made it though. Please keep up the good work and keep fighting. We all miss you so much.
The little people talking, we're sending those off to our favored tribute as like words of encouragement. They're homesick, trying to make them feel better, but for the most part we're talking about us and how our character or somebody else's character's character is feeling in this situation.
While students blogged away, teacher Laura Davis encouraged her students to focus on ways to improve their narrative writing skills.
Before we started this, we worked with what is a good comment, how do you provide specific feedback. So we worked not only on the commenting before we started, but also what we were looking for in the writing, that we were zooming in and we were working on sensory details, we were working on figurative language, we were working on word choice.
You would write about like how you're surviving, and my character, I made my character very young, so she's only 13, and so it's hard for her to stay in the games, but she's hiding so no one can really find her. So she hasn't been really injured by anyone yet.
I like that we get to develop like our own story, and because we really haven't done much narrative writing this year, and I like how we get to do that. And I like the book The Hunger Games, so it's kind of fun to make my own version of that. And I feel like it really did help me to improve my writing, because you don't want bad comments, so you try to improve upon.
As the game progressed, storylines in the game changed, eliminating tributes along the way. Teacher Laura Davis had to decide which players stayed and which players met their doom.
They were rewarded for their good efforts and they received immunity. And now I've added a new twist that the contestants themselves in the games can vote off somebody from a particular district. So they're getting a say in who stays and who goes.
Well, all the tributes, they voted to kill me, but all the dead people voted to save me, so I'm dead. Yeah.
So we did a poll on Edmodo, and the people who were still in the game in the arena could vote for which district was going to lose a tribute. But on the other hand, we had our citizens of Panem vote for who they wanted to see stay alive. And it actually ended up that Natalie's character, they voted her death and they voted her to live, and I had to decide.
The teacher is always the judge and jury when it comes to decision making in the classroom. One of the most important decisions Laura had to make on this activity were grades. How did she assess the students?
The focus of the project is whether they're improving as a writer. So they are going to take one of their early blog posts and revise it based upon the comments that they got from their readers. They're also going to have various things that we've worked on as a class. I read all the blogs and I read all the comments, and I see general things that most of my writers are doing. We've talked about comma splices, we've talked about wordiness, we've talked about parallel structure, we've talked about using participle phrases and how you punctuate them. So then they're going to identify 3 things that they tend to do wrong and how they have improved with those specific suggestions that I've given the class.
As students worked on improving their writing skills, their enthusiasm for this class never wavered.
I think getting comments from other students is better than just getting a grade back from a teacher, because it lets you know what you're kind of writing about in this day and age, and sometimes teachers don't understand your writing, but peers do better than a teacher would.
I like how we get to write pretty freely. We just have to follow the prompt. But other than that, we can write all this other stuff into it.
Teacher Laura Davis used the story of the Hunger Games to help her students become better writers. Her imagination and skills as an instructor helped merge an action-adventure story with language arts. The rewards of her efforts were reflected in the attitude of her students.
Doing this project has been worthwhile, just the excitement about writing. Often it's a case where they groan that they have a writing assignment, but their energy and their excitement and their engagement has been rewarding and worth all the behind-the-scene plot making and strategy that I've had to do to carry this forth. It's really been fun, and there are very few projects that I can say that have been genuinely fun for me, but this one was.